a connection. So pretty much, I guess we get started. This live is about introducing each of us, mostly you, and like what we're about, how we're about like bringing everybody more so together, connecting, networking, creating the mastermind, um, the circle, the network, because we can all benefit from being more connected to each other. So we'll start. I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Brittany Ruiz, now married to Rodal Ruiz. I am a veterinary technician for now. I'm looking, well, I've been able to connect to some very successful people who've been able to kind of create assets outside of their jobs and retire and are in the float of showing me how to do some of the same things. So a lot of my network, my mentors have enlightened me, given me books, audios, things to pretty much grow my mentality and open me up to networking, which is how Sakina actually sent me your video. And you were talking about not chasing what is already yours. So you could talk about yourself now.
Well, um, how to spell Mark. How to spell Mark was created because the spelling of Marquise is challenging. I used to go by my middle name, my government name, Marquise, as my stage name, and then I cut it when I wanted to create the .com, and I knew the Marquise.com would work, so I created HowToSpellMark.com, and it's been like I would say 20 plus years as an entrepreneur, over 15 as a performing artist, like between dance and song and writing. And I come from a school called Wushu Academy of Physical Fitness that was established in 1968, before I was even thought of and born. And the Grand Master of that school, Sijo Abu Bakr Muallim Ak, was my mentor up until he was 83 and transitioned. And he just like put a lot of insight on my life, along with the experience of being in the public since like ninth grade and wanting to be an entrepreneur and pursuing performing arts, just being direct in the public and not in school and not tied down to a job or any institution, gives you roots to speak and have hundreds of thousands of conversations. This is so much you can read in a book and get from a video and get from a teacher, but there's a lot more you can get from life experience and human being and trial and error. So it, brought me up to a point where all of the information from experiences plus the literature plus me being a scholar and studying got me to, where I'm at now. At first, it was really challenging to, study like at that degree and not maybe have the backing of financial aid or the backing of a dormitory or the backing from maybe family and friends. So, but I did, and in that process, or halfway out of that process, I expressed to myself that I would create a nonprofit, and that's exactly what I did. We created a nonprofit, Mark Entertainment, to develop and just give positive ministry. I won't say religious ministry, but mindset ministry is a term that I just thought of. right now. Mostly I say music ministry because music is the biggest vehicle and music is so powerful today, and music is what was therapy for me for forever. And I see to this day like it's such a huge platform for every industry out there, especially like, you know, spirituality. You always
Mhm.
music tied into it.
Yeah. So that's big. And you said a lot of nuggets. You said you pretty much you've been in this for 20 years, entrepreneurially, and 15 years as an artist. And we talked about you started out performing on the trains and stuff. Talk a little bit about that, like where you came from, because a lot of people just see where you are now, your videos that you're putting out now, you know, with the wads of like cash and supporters and stuff like that, but they don't understand that that journey, it didn't start there. It started a long time ago. And that's what my mentors teach too, is like you are going to go through trials and tribulations. And you talked about failure, trial and tribulations. And a lot of people, when they fail at things, they're like, oh, this isn't for me, I quit. But that's how you learn, that's how you grow, that's how you get to where you are now. So talk about a little bit of where you started.
Well, I'd say as far as the performing arts, it performing arts school started like as a child, martial arts and dance. Um, and then ninth grade, high school, I was introduced to being able to pick up candy and sell candy, and in that process, I was able to meet all of the other performers in the city that also did the drums or did the marachi or was breakdancing. Like that, those years, I spent like 7, 8 years down there selling candy. In 2000 2003, I took the Kung Fu and the martial arts more serious. In 2004, I joined the company in Harlem called Uptown Dance Academy to get my stretch and my kicks together, and it led to me going full fledged and taking dance extremely serious again on a professional level, and that's where my me dancing professionally started, like
Mhm.
2004.
Okay. So you pretty much started from the bottom, selling candy, got connected and networked with those drummers and whatnot. Started kung fu, then singing. When did the singing start?
I was thinking that too. I was thinking I should have. Singing, it's a good good point. Singing started, well, I took singing seriously in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
2000 um, 2008, I got in trouble for a drug sale and staying with some friends. I wanted to, you know, stay with these. I wanted to stay on these friends' couch because I had nowhere to stay, and just candy wasn't going well for me because I would always spend my candy money on food or transportation or other things that were a necessity, and didn't have money to buy more candy to sell more candy. So I was like, I'm not a dope boy. Let me jump in with these guys, and in exchange, they'll give me a place to stay and potentially some startup money so I can jump back into my candy. That
Mm-hmm.
process was 72 hours and I was locked away. And 2 years into that, I finally had to do my time in 2010. And in that
Mm-hmm.
period of time, being away that whole year, like the only thing that kept me sane was like music. So
Hmm.
2010, I did a few months in 2008, and but 2010 really like pushed me to when I came like when I the few months I did in 2008, I came out and really pursued dance and made it work and really transitioned from selling candy to dancing. But I had to thank you, Sakina. 2010, the charge caught up to me. I had to, do my time. So in that process, I just made a pact with the universe. I made a pact with God, like, yo, I want to do this. And I came home. My mentor's wife connected me to a world-renowned established classical singer, Albert Rose. He was my vocal coach for a while, and working with him developed me. And it still took some years, like 2013 is when people began like requesting that I sing places for hire. And
Hmm.
it was still a little stagnated, but like 2013 is when the money started coming in as a singer. And this is so much more between 2013 and now. But again, like that process of how long it took to do certain things, I was able to get insight that, man, like this should be programs for people that
Hmm.
want to pursue the arts and might need a place to stay or might need startup or might need a scholarship. And not just, hey, you can take free classes, but hey, you can you can live here for a few months, work for hire or work study is what some of these programs call it. A
Okay.
live in work study is what we created here at Mark Entertainment, because I know some programs have it, but it's like super duper private. Like it almost doesn't exist. There are like some churches where at night you can sleep in their pantry and stuff like that, but there aren't too many of these programs that are geared towards people that aren't in the classifications of drug or STD or an incarceration or mental illness. There's so many programs, but you have to be like out of.
Yeah, I went. That's so funny you say that because I went through that kind of a little kind of homeless situation. I won't get into my story too much on this because
You
this is
should.
about you. But I had people, and I am so grateful for those people. But in that time, I was like, oh, I was in between school, on breaks, and I went for food stamps, and she was like, you work in school for 20 hours. I was like, yeah, in school, but I'm not in school now. Like, what can you do for me? And she was like, okay, so you're not on drugs. No, that was the last thing she said. She said, okay, so you're not pregnant. Um, you're not on drugs. I was like, miss, I can go get some. Like, I'll be right back. Like, this is and I feel like society has gotten to a place where they're rewarding those as sort of a reward for being pregnant, having so many kids, being on drugs, and it's making it more like maybe I want to go over here, and it's not like there's nothing for the middle class, for those who are struggling, but they're kind of trying to find their way. So it's cool
Normal.
that that's your passion to help those people, and so we could go into that like your LLC is supposed to in some way, shape, and form help people.
Yes. One of our mottos is help us help. So again, I don't want to even say the distant franchise and use that word. I'd rather say there's there is that class of men and women that don't fall in the categories of they're not on drugs, they're not, maybe they do suffer from depression, anxiety, but it's
Hmm.
not severe, mental illnesses, and they may be single or not, because I have like the financial literacy for the women, especially the single women. There's so many women out here like just stagnated because you're not only trying to be the provider, but the woman and like knowing financial literacy. So just that category of women that I would say not to call others not normal, but again, the people that don't fall in the category of mental illness and drug offenses. I mean, not drug offenses.
Just women who need help, right?
Women,
Like,
women.
and they can't get help from the government because they're not under the stipulations of severely like and on drugs or pregnant or in that category. But you want to help those who can't find help elsewhere.
And again, you might want to just work for yourself or be an artist. There are a perfect example is I know so many people. I've just met a woman the other day, 23, and with a child and staying with her parents. And she's not the first person that I heard say, "Yo, I'm going to school," and the financial aid is it's a couple dollars. They giving me a couple dollars to go to school. There's so many of us that will say, "Oh, I'll sign up to go to school," because they know like the refund or the access money that comes when you go, you can use that, and it's something. So and then parents or family or society will say, "Okay, we'll have more leeway for you because you're going to school." But what if you're a mom and you're telling society or you're telling family you don't want to go to school, you want to get it together and start your business and
Mm-hmm.
support
Mm-hmm.
me until I get the funding or get me the funding and I want to start my business. There's not too many programs that you can say, "Hey, I want to come in here. I'm not going to get a job. I'm going to look for seed funding." And you can't. A lot of these programs, if you tell them that, they'll put you out. If you tell them that you're not trying to work, or if you tell
Mm-hmm.
your parents and friends, or you tell, since I went through like series and series and series of people, and I was like, no, I already been working for myself. I want to continue to work for myself, whether it be in the arts or whether it be entrepreneurial. So
Mm-hmm.
I saw there was a need. There's a huge need, especially in New York City for that. Like
Mm.
because and when I did all of the research, so much funding, but they have categories like where the funding is going, what kind of nonprofit you have to be. So that's why I saw this. There's not a lot of programs that will house you and give you
Mm-hmm.
seed funding and develop you as a
Mm-hmm.
brand. Like I mean, all the way from transportation, where you sleeping, something to eat. Boom, you started your own business. You're on your own feet.
That's cool. That's cool. I admire that. Because I was once in a place where I needed that, and thank God I did have people that I could go to. But like you said, like um us as a people, like we need to stop kicking our kids out at early ages. Like a lot of people that I know that are successful, they're successful because they stayed at home instead of
Yes,
getting an apartment, instead of being on their own. They stayed at home when they were in their 30s, and they saved and they built their brand, and they then when they were financially stable and ready, and then they jumped out. And I feel like that's like a better situation instead of saying, hey, well, you this age, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you gotta get out. Like we need to support our people and our kids and stuff like that. So that's another topic in and of itself. But it's cool that you're trying to help those people who don't fit in the stipulations that these organizations have to give help. And you're trying to kind of close the gap. I feel like is the best way to put it. So going forward from this live, what would you want people to get from this live? We're trying to network, we're trying to connect with people, help people who are looking for more, looking to grow outside of their jobs, outside of what other people expect from them. So what would you want to say?
well, folks, folks could DM us, or I would say go to go to the website, but the website that's up right now is for it's the ministry website is not up. So the
We're
website,
working on that.
yeah, the website that is up is serenademenow.com, and that's like for the business. So as far as reaching out to the ministry and getting help like immediately, folks can DM me or my partner Love Excels all. And right now we're just doing Think and Grow Rich workshops, and we're down here in New Orleans. And she got the hard copy. She got it right. Two hard copies.
So this one is the first one. This is the new and revised 21st century Napoleon Hill. We were talking about that yesterday. This is a great book. All of my mentors suggest reading it. I suggest reading it, even if you don't have that any type of mindset. This book, it says it on the inside. It says this book could be worth $1 million to you, and it could, because it has the nuggets. Love that book. Yes, Steph. Hey. But I've read this book probably twice. I'm gonna read it again. So the workshops. What were you
Yeah.
saying about the workshop?
Yeah, I guess, my hard copy is in transit right now. I have like the audio like on my phone, and I've ran through the audio like I don't know, like 10 times. Like sometimes I just run it in my sleep, like night and day, and
Mm-hmm.
it's written all over my walls. And at this particular point, I was just like, yo, let's. I ran through it with my sister last year twice. I tried to, I won't say I tried, but when we first got to New Orleans, my father and his wife and my sister and the kids, we were driving down here, and the ride was going to be like 9 hours. So I was like, "Hi guys, let's read a book," and I popped that in for 2 hours, and they put up a little resistance because they're like, "Oh, we're reading audio books, let's listen to music."
Yeah.
Sometimes to get black people to read, it's like the dentist, like quilling teeth.
Yo,
It
school. If it's anything, education does not stop with school. We all know school is not. They're not teaching us the things we need to know to survive in life.
Thank you.
So that is up to you to educate yourself, to read even after school, to look for people, which is what we're doing. Talked about it in the book. The mastermind is made up of 2 people or more, and those 2 people are not supposed to be on the same level. We're supposed to enlighten each other. We're supposed to network. We're supposed to grow. We're supposed to use each other. Like a lot of people look at network marketing. Oh, I'm using this person. I'm using that. No, we're supposed to use each other. We're supposed to connect. We're supposed to help each other in any way, shape, or form. So read this book. But yeah, getting people to read is so hard. And the fact that it's an audio form, you guys just listen to it. That's an easy way to get people to read. So I'm gonna get that audio form because I
Yeah, I'm
like
gonna
to
send
listen to
you the
things.
link.
Good,
They got
good.
the and then I got the 2 hour version that's like basically the meat,
Mm-hmm.
because the long version is 10 hours, like a course. It's basically it was a course, because I cannot use anything I
Mm-hmm.
go towards. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, like the it was a course. That's why a lot of us don't understand today, because the book might be a little wise and older, but they still do charge like for
Mm-hmm.
consulting for this course. So
Mm-hmm.
right now, build our mastermind. Like I said, first things first, we're having the workshops, and introduction workshops for our immediate crew. And basically what we're down here is we build a songwriting camp, a music production songwriting camp. But you know, in the process, we're building a team as far as the PR, the publicists, the video editors, like other artists and other brands. And I've even put the word out, like if folks like are in dire need or are serious about joining, I'd even put, you know, folks on the bus or plane and have them, show up and be 2 feet in to, to the movement. Because right now, that matters. Like
Mhm.
having that manpower, like matters. Because when the weather is nice, I take it, to the streets, and I'm
Mhm.
out there on the streets, and I don't get to go into so much of this because the vehicle is music, and people are tipping and giving for the music. When in other ministries, they do a little music, and then it's okay, y'all. Let's get into this book. Let's talk about it. That's gonna be our book. Like it's gonna be 1 hour books. This because
One of them.
this there's so many more. It's not gonna be. This is. You ever heard of? I'll end on um Reverend Ike was a pros. Reverend Ike was he was a pros. His ministry was they called it prosperity ministry or something like that. But he was not. He went into the Bible and
Mhm.
that stuff, but he was a different kind of minister,
Mhm.
and he showed folks how to get money and how to manifest their goals and desires. And it
Mhm.
was just, I'm not knocking Christians, but sometimes, and I look at it like this. I look at the elders and I'm like, yo, you've been reading, whether it be the Quran or the Bible or whatever philosophy for this many years in this many generations, your parents and your grandparents. And I say
Mhm.
what my mentor says, what is your condition? Like what is your financial condition? What is your health condition? What is your mental mindset? What is
What are
your
you
condition?
taking? What are you taking from what you're reading and using? Because it's one thing to read, but and read and listen and all that stuff. But if, like you said, if you're not in action, in motion and actually doing things actively, then why even read if you're not going to use what you're reading in your
Yes.
life to earn a living or to just do and be better? So.
Yeah. Okay, love. But this was great. We're gonna do it again, and I'm sure like begin our zooms and our inner stuff, and this will be like our introduction video for folks wanting to just join the movement.
During the movement. I would say too, just a little bit about myself. You know, I've been talking about my mentors a lot. They've really enlightened me. I don't know if you've read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad. Love that book. He has a few other books talking about the 4 quadrants of making money. I just want to enlighten our people that I'm hearing a lot of investing, real estate, jobs, self-employed. Um, and being an entrepreneur is more than just those categories. We have to open up our minds and we have to be more out there and more able to accept and educate ourselves on other options and opportunities that are out there, because you spoke a lot about programs that are just, they have their stipulations and stuff, and people are, self-employed involves money, investing involves money, real estate involves money, everything involves money, an investment, but there are other options that will accept a little bit of money as opposed to millions of dollars, and you get a startup. You could start in any opportunity. So I'm also building a team of like-minded individuals. And I just like to connect with everybody. So I look forward to our Zooms. And if anybody is interested and looking for more information and just looking for other opportunities, DM us, talk to us. and connect with us, and don't be scared. So that's just a little bit. What?
Don't live in fear.
Don't. Fear will hold you back, but fear is also necessary because it shows you that you're going in the right direction. When something takes you out of your comfort zone, that means you need to do it. So
Yes.
this is
Okay,
fun.
this was this was fun. Um, let's connect again. Last thing I wanted to say was last thing I wanted to say was, goal was raising or is raising 250,000. So far we've raised, and I got the bank statements to show we've raised like over 60K, and like we're moving. And the goal again is still to, set folks free, empower,
Mm-hmm.
like-minded individuals to do what they love and make a living doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's happening. Folks, other sponsors can give, and just a share is a a tip as well. Just making folks aware that we're here. That also counts as contributions, because
The
awareness is
Instagram. The Instagram algorithm is a thing. Share, like, comment.
yes, yes. But yeah, we'll leave it on that. This was beautiful. Thank you again.
Yes. We'll leave it on multiple streams of income, ongoing income, entrepreneur, help, mentorship, key. If you in the movement, if you are looking for more, DM us. Let's connect. Let's network. Let's help each other. Let's use each other in the right ways.
That's perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
love. I'm gonna go.
Thank you everyone who joined. Hello. I think my dad was on here at one
Nah,
point. Ty was on here. Um, Sakina, thanks again. Steph. I'm not sure who these other people are, but Kia Booking, hello.
yeah,
Um,
does like bookings. She helps like with the music, with what we're doing. But shout out to the people that are gonna see this in the future. I'm gonna definitely send
yes,
you.
Dennis, hey.
Okay,
I just want to say hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. And I hope this speaks to your heart and your soul. And we'll be talking to you, hopefully.
okay. Peace, Queen.
Peace.